The document outlines a series of escalating tensions and military actions between Israel and Iran, with the United States playing a significant role. It begins with Israel launching a retaliatory strike against Iran following an attack by Tehran involving a large number of drones and missiles targeting Israel. This attack came after Hamas terrorists invaded Israel, prompting the Israeli military to initiate bombardment of Gaza. Amidst these events, Israeli leaders criticized the expected decision by the U.S. to impose sanctions on a unit of ultra-Orthodox soldiers in the Israeli military, known as Netzeh Yehuda. The imposition of sanctions on this unit, which aims to incorporate ultra-Orthodox men into the military, is seen as unfair by Israeli leaders, particularly during a time of war. Additionally, Netzeh Yehuda has faced criticism for alleged abuses against Palestinians, with a specific incident involving the death of an elderly Palestinian-American man at a West Bank checkpoint in 2022. The central theme of the document revolves around the complex and volatile dynamics involving Israel, Iran, and the United States, with military actions, retaliations, and impending sanctions driving the narrative. The sequence of events, from Iran's attack on Israel to the anticipated U.S. sanctions on Netzeh Yehuda, underscores the intricate geopolitical relationships and the implications of such actions during times of conflict. Furthermore, the document sheds light on the internal dynamics within the Israeli military, particularly concerning the ultra-Orthodox unit, and the ethical and moral considerations surrounding their operations, especially in the context of alleged abuses against Palestinians. The document also highlights the humanitarian aspect, specifically the case of the elderly Palestinian-American man, Omar Assad, whose death at a West Bank checkpoint in 2022 has raised concerns about potential abuse and negligence by Israeli soldiers. The details of the incident, including signs of external violence and the lack of medical assistance provided, contribute to the broader discussion regarding human rights violations and the accountability of military personnel. This underscores the multifaceted nature of the challenges faced in the region, encompassing not only geopolitical tensions but also the ethical and humanitarian dimensions of military operations and conflicts. The provided document discusses the fallout from the death of Omar Assad, a U.S. citizen who had been living in the U.S. for 4 decades and was killed by Israeli soldiers. The Israeli military acknowledged the incident as a grave and unfortunate event resulting from moral failure and poor decision-making by the soldiers. However, despite reprimanding and reassigning some officers, the army decided against criminal prosecution, stating that the soldiers' actions could not be directly linked to Assad's death. This decision has sparked criticism from human rights groups, who argue that Israel rarely holds soldiers accountable for the deaths of Palestinians. The situation has led to an outcry from the U.S., resulting in Secretary of State Antony Blinken announcing forthcoming reviews of allegations that several Israeli military units violated conditions for receiving U.S. assistance outlined in the Leahy Law, which prohibits aid to foreign military units involved in human rights abuses. Furthermore, the document highlights the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas, leading to the reassignment of the Netzeh Yehuda battalion from the West Bank to northern Israel and ultimately to the southern border with Gaza. The battalion is currently participating in the war effort in the Gaza Strip, with the Israeli army emphasizing its adherence to the IDF Code of Ethics and international law. Amidst the impending decision on reviews of alleged violations, key Israeli officials, including Defense Minister Benny Gantz and Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, have expressed concerns about the potential impact on Israel's international legitimacy and the Israeli military as a whole. They argue that punishing the unit could harm relations with the U.S. and cast a shadow over the entire Israeli military. These concerns are further underscored by a reservist in the Netze Yehuda unit, Sergeant Major Nadav Nissim Miranda, who believes that targeting the battalion would hinder efforts to encourage religious men to enlist. In summary, the death of Omar Assad at the hands of Israeli soldiers has raised significant concerns about accountability within the Israeli military and its treatment of Palestinians. This incident has prompted a response from the U.S., leading to potential repercussions under the Leahy Law. The ongoing war with Hamas has also influenced the reassignment and current participation of the Netze Yehuda battalion, with Israeli officials expressing apprehension about the potential fallout from the U.S. decision and its impact on Israel's international standing. The text discusses the scrutiny facing the Netze Yehuda, an Israeli military unit, over its high conviction rate for cases involving harm to Palestinians or their property. Yesh Din, an Israeli legal advocacy group, highlights that 1 in 5 soldiers convicted of such offenses since 2010 comes from this unit, raising concerns about systematic abuse of power. Retired General Gadi Shammi attributes the unit's issues to its exclusive assignment to the volatile West Bank, leading to fatigue and heightened friction with Palestinians and settlers. However, he argues against punishing the entire unit, advocating for targeting specific individuals or commanders instead. Conversely, Ori Javadi of Breaking the Silence criticizes the broader systemic abuses of power towards Palestinians, emphasizing the lack of repercussions for such actions as a contributing factor. The U.S. review of the situation predates recent Israeli actions in Gaza and the West Bank, as well as the surge in deadly violence in these areas. Despite this, the U.S. has imposed sanctions against violent settlers, a move contested by Israeli hardliners who accuse the U.S. of crossing a red line and even anti-Semitism. Former Prime Minister Yair Lapid also opposes the anticipated sanctions, attributing the problems to the political level rather than the military. This highlights the complex political dynamics surrounding the situation and the diverse reactions to the potential U.S. intervention. Overall, the text underscores the deep-seated issues surrounding the conduct of Israeli military units in the West Bank, particularly the Netze Yehuda, and the broader implications of potential U.S. sanctions. It sheds light on the complexities of addressing systematic abuses of power, the role of political leadership in shaping such dynamics, and the international responses to these contentious issues.